You're listening to Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick in association with Wexford Insurances. Challenge us at Wexford Insurances 0818 31 30 30.
Welcome back to the show. Earlier this week I attended the launch of Destination Enniscorthy, a strategy which aims to maximise the tourism potential of Enniscorthy town. At this event I spoke to Colm Neville, the chairman of Enniscorthy Tourism, and Pat Lynch of Rycon about their involvement in this project, and I started by asking Colm, what exactly is Destination Enniscorthy all about?
Destination Enniscorthy, I suppose, Karl, is really all about getting more footfall into the town of Enniscorthy, whether it be tourists, shopping or otherwise. It's about how we look, how we present ourselves, how the customer interacts with the shopkeepers and the attraction providers as well as the accommodation providers in the town.
Pat, and what's Rycon's involvement in this?
Karl, Rycon has been commissioned by Enniscorthy Tourism to kind of put all of this plan of action together, and we're going to bring all the stakeholders and we're going to really see how can we actually make Enniscorthy a destination of tourism excellence, and that's really what we're after here.
So talk me through the process.
It's a very detailed process. It's over a good few months. It'll kicking off here now tonight with the initiation of a survey for visitors' perception. So where we're going to see what do they value, what do they think about Enniscorthy and the surrounding areas, and we're going to take that information then and along with the stakeholders, the tourism providers, and we're going to actually really develop innovative ideas in which we can communicate the real value propositions that are in Enniscorthy, the good things that we have here.
What involvement, Colm, will you want from businesses around the Enniscorthy area with regard to this project?
Karl, it's key that the businesses cooperate with Rycon in gathering the information from their customers. The hotels have a database of customers that have stayed and that are going to stay in the coming season, but that's only part of the picture. Only a small part of tourism actually stay in hotels. So we're trying to engage with the various activities. There's lots of people coming along to the castle, to the 1798 Centre, and even to Vinegar Hill. And what we're trying to do is capture those people while they're in Enniscorthy. What's good and bad about what we're doing, what they liked, what they didn't like, how we can best communicate with them.
I know that one of the starting points for the project, Pat, is brainstorming. When does that all begin?
It will begin after we get what the customers think. We're going to bring that into the brainstorming sessions with the stakeholders, because it's very important to have the voice of the visitor in those brainstorming sessions, and we're going to use that and brainstorm around the things that were good, but also around the things that may not have been so good for the visitor, and then we'll actually improve overall, come up with ideas, concepts, and brainstorm really around how can we actually make Enniscorthy a lot better.
How are you going to collect and collate that information in relation to the visitors to Enniscorthy?
There is a very large scale survey that's going to be that was initiated here tonight, and I just can't stress, just to reiterate what Colm said, is that we actually really need the local stakeholders and everything else to distribute the surveys to their own visitors, and we will have teams on the ground and everything else, and we will capture the visitors' experience in Enniscorthy, and we will then bring that into the process then. So
stage one is the focus on the visitor. Stage two is the focus on the business owner. What process will they be engaged with from the perspective of workshops and everything else?
Well, it's actually a very participatory workshop, or a series of workshops, I should say. So what we do is that we bring in and we ask the business owners, etc. And they've already gone through a business audit with us. What do they value about? What do they think is good about Enniscorthy? What do they think is poor, etc. And then we come up with the challenges and the opportunities that we have, right? And essentially we bring them through, Karl, a standard innovation process, by which at the end of it that we will have maybe new concepts, new ideas that we can actually initiate in Enniscorthy. So their participation in this is absolutely vital, because at the end of the day they're the people that deliver the services to these visitors, and if they're not involved, well, we can't really design any strategy or any plan of action. Really, they're the ones that design it, we're just the facilitators.
Okay, so the feedback from the business owners across the town and outside the town itself is absolutely crucial. Now, Colm, to come back to yourself, I know the starting point for this project is to look at the visitors that have been there and have come to Enniscorthy over the last 12 or 18 months. But once you have that piece of work done, you're going to then go on to, I suppose, the greater market. Is the focus going to be on a local, regional, national or international basis?
Karl, we're going to obviously first of all, look inwards to see what we have, what we don't have. Look at how we can improve what we have. But when we have our action plan to get that together, we then have a whole marketing piece. We've got a brand identity, brand development. There's no point, though, in developing and talking about what that brand is and what that development is until we know ourselves what story we have to tell. Now, that story will have to be told within the piece that is Visit Wexford, the piece that's happening county-wide. But Enniscorthy has got we believe, through this development, are taking major steps forward in knowing what our product is, knowing what market we should be going to, and then marketing out to that market. So we will be most certainly going to the outside world and bringing more and more that are not coming in and that are currently not our customers here. But in order to be able to get that message clear and concise to them so that we're not confusing them and that they know what they're coming for and what they can expect, and therefore you get the right customer, we have to first define what we have ourselves and maybe tweak a little bit here and there.
This seems like a very comprehensive project that's been undertaken. Who's funding it, Colm?
Well, obviously the origins of the project has come from the Chamber of Commerce, which obviously the Tourism Committee is a subcommittee of. But currently, this piece of work has been very heavily funded and assisted by WLD. We put our application in last year, got approval last August. Unfortunately, obviously, our customers are mainly in the current tourism season. But we're now up, ready, well geared, ready to go, have our questionnaire and all ready, and we're going to end up, hopefully come September, October, with a real action plan, with real actions against the things that need to be done and names against them.
Pat, you chaired tonight's event. What was the initial feedback like from the business community in Enniscorthy?
It was absolutely fantastic. Like, as you can see, Karl, we had a great turnout here tonight, and and we were asking people, we need your participation, and you can see, there's people queuing up, signing in the sheets and the businesses, and for those that weren't here tonight, there will be plenty of opportunity for people to sign up and to be part of what is really a destination of community coming together to create a really solid destination going forward.
There was 2 points stood out to me tonight. One lady made the point that there's lots of tour buses passing through Enniscorthy, and on doing so they don't stop, number one, in most cases, and secondly, there's very little told about the heritage behind Enniscorthy, and secondly, there's ships, a number of them, coming in and out of Rosslare Europort every day. And a lady that was here tonight as well said that she was on one of those ships recently and there wasn't a brochure to be seen in relation to Enniscorthy. Colm, I'll put that point to you.
Yeah, I mean, Carol, I'm sitting at the table at Visit Wexford as well. And Visit Wexford have already, I know, got posters only in the last few days, gone up in the ships. I know that the brochures, I don't know that the brochures are carried there yet, but I will know in the morning, and if they're not, there'll be certainly moves afoot to try to get them there. But if I can just bring you back to the strategic document for a moment, rather than getting a group of people together and getting good ideas like that and good pointers and running around and trying to do this and do that about this and that, we're hoping that the strategic document will give us a prioritised list of low-hanging fruit and then not so low-hanging fruit. So we'll have short-term actions, medium-term actions and indeed long-term actions, so that we can go at this job of work, and it is going to be a huge job of work. I mean, Pat Lynch here and what he's doing for us through Rycon is a great piece of work, and it's not something that we wouldn't be capable at all of doing ourselves. But unfortunately, when he walks out the door, the work really is only going to begin for us in Enniscorthy to get on with what actions are listed there. Now, I know Pat has said he'll be there and available to help us every step of the way as far as he's wanted, even thereafter, and to get involved and engage with businesses in many different innovations that he's able to help out with. So hopefully that will all come together. I'm very, very confident that we're doing something in the right way and not just running around trying to fix this or fix that, but trying to look at the whole problem and get a real strategy about how we're going to put Enniscorthy at the heart of County Wexford, which should be at the heart of tourism in the southeast.
Pat, what type of time commitment will be required from businesses that participate in this project?
Well, the way that we would say it, Karl, is that by participating in the project, you're actually going to enhance your own business anyway. So, yes, you do have to take a tiny bit of time out from your own business, but really, at the end process is that we want to make businesses more profitable in Enniscorthy, and by doing that, if we can increase the footfall, that means we're bringing in more spend into the area, and the businesses themselves will profit from it. And by interacting with us anyway, they're going to learn things that they mightn't have thought of before, because we will show them marketing techniques and everything on how to actually attract in their visitors as well, and it'll become all part of the process. Yes, at the moment we're doing the survey, but that will come into very much an action phase where we will be designing branding, marketing material, communications, developing stories that businesses can then use in their own marketing collateral. So it's going to be very much an integrated project from start to finish. So Karl, just to answer your question specifically on time commitment from businesses, if you can imagine, over the next 6 months we'll be holding approximately 4 workshops, 3 to 4 hours in length. So over the 6-month period, the amount of commitment and time that companies have to give, and interact with us is minimal. And we understand that businesses have to operate and earn as well. And we will be coming into Enniscorthy with trying to, minimise our impact on people's time, but to deliver the project that Destination and Tourism Enniscorthy want us to achieve.
Okay. And Colm, my final question for you. You chose Rycon to conduct this project on your behalf. What do you hope to be the final outcome from it?
Karl, to be honest, the greatest hope that I have is that we'll have an engaged community, an engaged retail and tourism community that will appreciate and realise the importance of tourism. Because if that happens, then they're going to deliver a smile to everyone that comes through their door. It's something as simple as that I believe can make Enniscorthy a destination of choice for people in the country, that we can be front of mind, that people will automatically think of Enniscorthy in the same thoughts as Westport, as Killarney, and why wouldn't they? We've got a beautiful product. We'll have it well bundled. I hope to have a document that will have prioritised items that will help us improve that. We'll have the easy hanging fruit, as I say, the easy things to do straight off. We'll have people are on the hook for getting those done. We'll have a community that will actually understand and realise the benefit of doing it, but then we'll also have the marketing behind it that'll parcel up our product, that'll put it on everyone's plate, that they'll be able to see this is an option for them, and they should come here as a destination that they would choose to come to in its own right.
Pat, it's been a few months since you've been on the show with me. Back in January, you were on the show speaking to me about innovation vouchers, these €5,000 innovation vouchers issued by Enterprise Ireland. What was the response like after the interview?
Well, first, Karl, first of all, it's great to be back. The response was absolutely phenomenal. I think we were absolutely inundated with requests for vouchers from speaking on your show. Like, definitely the word got out. I'd like to thank yourself and Southeast Radio for the opportunity coming on. And really, we were up to the wire submitting vouchers up to 12 o'clock on the close of 12 o'clock midnight, submitting in vouchers. So we have a phenomenal number of vouchers now with companies that we're working with in Wexford. Excellent.
Now, funnily enough, I suppose, look, there's a little bit of a coincidence to it, but there's another call for innovation vouchers at the moment. What does that mean, and explain the benefits to businesses?
Well, Karl, the voucher call is open since the 8th of April and it closes on the 30th at midnight. And essentially what we need is that if people have an innovation issue, or to be honest, if they have a business issue, right, give us a shout at Rycon, and and we'll sit down with you, we'll scope out the project or the proposal, and we will write it for you.
I know one of the myths out there about these vouchers, Pat, is that companies have to be Enterprise Ireland clients, which is absolutely not the case. They just have to be an SME turning over less than €10 million. But for the benefit of our listeners that didn't hear the show back in January and our interview in relation to innovation vouchers, how broad are they and what can they be used for?
Well, Karl, first of all, I would have a very broad definition of innovation, and they could be used for a company looking at how do they make money, their business model. They could be used for some aspect of their social media channel or their offline channel. It goes on, Karl. And so, like, if you've got an issue, come in and talk to us, and we will help guide you in around what that is and work your way with you in around the application form.
I'd like to take this opportunity to wish you both every success with this project, and I look forward to catching up with you at a later date for a progress report. Here at Business Matters, we want to hear your thoughts on the programme. You can contact the team by emailing businessmatters@southeastradio.ie. For more information on today's show, you can follow me on Twitter @Karl Fitzpatrick or visit karlfitzpatrick.ie. We're almost at closing time here on Business Matters, but before we go, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my production team, my guests for their contribution, and especially you for listening. Join me again next Saturday morning when I'll be speaking to more of the business leaders that you want to know more about. But in the meantime, have a profitable week.